Hey you guys, I have an order of rocks.
Hold on, no one's in it yet.
Hey you guys, I have an order of rocks I'm working on today, and I thought I would do a fun little video showing you guys how I work on them. So let's get started, and you guys can ask any questions that you might have while I'm working.
We had so much fun in our live video this morning, so we thought with this order we would just do another one. So as you can see, when Laura letters on some non-paper surfaces, you can see she's using her paint pen here. So the specific client requested this script that Laura is doing, so that's why she's not using pointed pen. So as you can see, she just writes the name one time and then goes back in and fills in the thick areas so that it looks like calligraphy. Laura has had Laura Hooper calligraphy for over 15 years. So she's been practicing pointed pen for over 20 years, and we've had the business for over 15 years. So you can see when there's like natural variations in the rock, like in the lowercase J there at the beginning of the name, that it does show up. So these are real, actual rocks. Okay, so there's a question about using pointed pen. Yeah, so this client specifically asked for this script. We did rocks similar to this for another wedding, and they sent a picture. It was actually a wedding that we worked on, and they sent a photo that they wanted this script. We do pointed pen on rocks sometimes. I'm not sure, do you think it would work on these rocks? I don't know. We'll test it out.
Yeah, it
we'll
would
try
work.
in a second and see.
It would definitely work on these rocks. We've done it with gold ink and white ink before.
Yeah, so, oh yes, you can use a pointed pen on a rock. We'll show you when we're done with a couple of these here. We'll do pointed pen. We usually, if you're going to use pointed pen, we don't recommend that you use
a brand new nib.
A brand new nib, right. So don't use a new nib. If you're going to write in pointed pen, you want to use a dull nib because it will dull your nib immediately. So you want to make sure you use a dull nib if you're going to do pointed pen. And we'll show you that when we're done. Hey Anna, yes, I know, so many videos since we're together. I'm actually not even holding it though, so Laura could be doing this, but she can't see the questions if I'm not reading them for her. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. We had so many questions earlier. Laura's favorite nib, we like to use the Gillot 404 a lot, and we sell all of our favorite nibs in our shop, lhcalligraphy.com/shop. We sell all of Laura's favorite nibs in there. Was this really hard when you first ever did this? Yes. So calligraphy is definitely a learned skill. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of patience for improvement. That's why we're doing the calligraphy practice challenge right now. So for anyone that missed the challenge, you can click the link in our profile to sign up to be notified once we are offering it again. This is a water-based marker. We like the water-based. We actually have a blog post, lhcalligraphy.com/blog. We have a post that shares links to all of our favorite pens.
I think it's in our LinkedIn profile too.
Oh yeah, in our LinkedIn profile, in our Instagram profile, there's a link you can click for a free PDF download, and it includes links to all our favorite things. I'm not to hit that, it keeps shaking it.
Sorry.
You can't seem to get the water-based Sharpies to write longer than a few letters. Any tricks?
I've never had that problem. They usually work better than the oil-based ones for me.
Yeah, we find the water ones work better. Make sure that you're shaking it up thoroughly. Of course, always seal the cap on your pen. You never want to leave that open. But yeah, I mean, Laura's using one pen here and isn't really having any flow problems, so.
And it's not even a new pen, it's one that I've used before.
But as you have probably noticed, not everyone prefers the same tools. So some people prefer the oil-based, some people prefer Molotow. We linked to quite a few in that PDF because we know that everyone has different preferences. Do you think you have your own distinct font? I mean, yes. I think that Laura has definitely has a pretty distinct set of scripts. I think a lot of people can recognize Laura's writing. When you're just doing lettering like this, it might not be as distinct as when you're doing something like pointed pen. No, we do not seal the ink on the rocks for these. It just dries. You could spray it with a finish if you wanted, but we aren't spraying these for anything. These are water-based pens. We link to them in the free PDF download directly to our favorite ones. Laura started doing calligraphy over 15 years ago. So that's when we started doing the pointed pen. Actually, she learned calligraphy when she was 11. Do we like brushables? We have not used that. So we can't speak to brushables.
Okay, I did all the names, so now I'm doing the hors d'oeuvres, so that's why they're gonna be food items coming up next.
Did you want to do one in, do you want to show writing pointed pen on one of these rocks? Do like on this piece. Okay, so in a few minutes here, we'll show you guys how we can do pointed pen on this. Do you guys have any other questions? Sorry, I think I missed some earlier up there.
I think you can scroll them back down.
No, I can't.
Oh.
We're still getting used to using the live video here, so if you guys have questions that were higher up that we missed, we'll go ahead and answer those, or go ahead and just ask those again. Do people ever ask for brush pen instead of pointed pen? Yes, we get requests for brush lettering, or usually for us, it's just paint marker. The majority of the work that we do is in pointed pen, unless it's on wood signs or other non-paper items. Jay Bobby wants to know what's your favorite non-paper item to write on.
I don't know.
Macarons?
Macarons.
Yeah, we write on macarons and cakes.
Cake.
Yes, yeah, we do. Laura has written on macarons and cakes. We actually cover that step by step in our new book, Wedding Calligraphy. So we have a whole step-by-step tutorial in the book. We also have a blog post on writing on macarons. Okay, so here you can see Laura is doing pointed pen on the rocks.
It's much more scratchy, and this piece of rock is broken, so it's kind of small, but I just wanted to show that you can do it on a rock, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, so you can do the pointed pen on the rock. Is it frustrating when you mess up?
It depends on how many times I've messed up that one item. So usually if I mess up the same thing more than once, that gets pretty frustrating, and it happens all the time, so.
Is the ink edible? Yes, when we write on food items that are going to be used at an event, we use edible ink. Hand cramps, how do you deal?
I don't generally get hand cramps, but I write 8 to 10 hours a day, so I'm pretty used to it.
But there are a lot of exercises that you can use to help with your hands, so you can kind of like flex your hands as if you're using a stress ball. Doing like piano fingers with really hard pressure will help. Massaging your palms is helpful. Okay, so we're back to working on these rocks with the paint pen. So again, this specific client asked for this script, so that's why we're using paint marker instead of pointed pen. So this is the one that Laura just did before in pointed pen, and you can see how it is different than paint pen. I mean, they actually look pretty similar. Her pointed pen, or her paint pen calligraphy looks pretty similar to the pointed pen. Yes, we would use this same pen for writing on mirrors. We do that for seating charts and other types of signage. Yes, the free PDF download that is in the link in our profile, we do have paper recommendations in there. So, sorry, we need to fix our camera angle here. There we go. Yeah, not all calligraphy paper is created equally. There's definitely a difference in high quality paper versus low quality paper, as many of our challenge attendees saw this morning when they tried to just use regular printer paper. It doesn't really work on that. Tips for writing on mirrors. Are you talking about like the setup or the actual writing? Because the writing would be the same. In terms of setup, we have a blog post that goes through working on oversized boards. So I would definitely check out that because it would be the same as how we do it on mirrors. So as you can see, she is just lettering here.
I try to keep my hand out of what I've already lettered, otherwise it will smudge, so I'm purposely keeping my hand away from that Y.
Is the pen suitable for left-handed people? Well, this is just a standard paint pen, so yes, this would be used for everybody. We have a starter kit that we sell in our shop. If you're looking to learn the art of calligraphy, we offer a starter kit, and we have a specific version for left-handed learners so that you get the pen that is custom made for lefties. How do you fix a mistake on a rock? Well, on the rock, we would just lose that rock. So we wouldn't be able to fix a mistake on a rock. On other things, if it's a board, you can sand it off and restain that area. If it's a mirror, you can wipe it off. Sometimes if you're working on agate slices, it can be wiped off, but you have to make sure they aren't dyed with fake, if they aren't colored with fake dye, because sometimes it'll wipe that off. So
the dye is real, the coloring is what's fake.
Yes. When we use the marker in wood, do we seal it at the end? No, we don't, but we do. We have a blog post on working with oversized wood boards, and we do link to a finishing spray that we sometimes use or that we would recommend if you want to use a finishing spray. So you can, but usually if people ask if the board is gonna, last forever, the answer is no. We've had requests, will it last forever outside? And unfortunately, it's real wood, so they won't. I thought there were a couple questions higher up that I missed. So this is an actual order. So this is for a wedding. This is the bridal party names, and now we're writing food words. So these are the appetizers.
These are going to go on the past app trays, probably.
Right. So these are going to be on the trays that go around with the appetizers.
Kind of have to fill it in there.
So starting a calligraphy business and charging for your services is a very in-depth topic. So there's quite a bit that goes into that. We actually offer a calligraphy business boot camp through Modern Calligraphy Summit. We link to it on our blog, lhcalligraphy.com/blog. So I would definitely look into that if you are hoping to start a calligraphy business. We also offer personal consulting for getting your business going. So you can find that on our website as well. When using a nib on a rock, I think she did it right here. It was we were using a Gelot 404. So this is what it looked like when Laura was writing in the pointed pen. We have almost exactly enough rocks for this order, so we didn't want to use one of the rocks. This is just the pointed pen here. Somebody had asked about if you can do it with a uppercase letter at the beginning. And yes, this is just a specific style where it's all lowercase. But yes, if someone wants uppercase letters, we would do that as well. No, the business bootcamp is separate from MCS 1.0 and MCS 2.0, so there's kind of 3 different entities, but the business bootcamp stands on its own. Do we source the materials like the rocks, or do our customers? So it varies. We got these one time. Our last client with rocks, they had found them in nature and they sent them to us. So we have a lot of sources for items, and people also send us sources, especially when they're using a planner, and the planner probably has preferred sources as well. So it really varies depending on the project. Do we have a rule about what letters to position higher or lower? Do you want to talk about your bounce there?
When I'm bouncing my letters, I pretty much just alternate between each letter. So up, down, and then I try to start and end on the same plane so that it looks even. So I wouldn't start down here and end up here. And it just looks a little bit better if you're alternating rather than have 2 or 3 of them up and then 1 down.
You don't want to have too much variance. You're not trying to go all over the place. You kind of want to stay in one area. It's really just the baseline that is bouncing. This is water-based. We prefer the water-based markers.
Once it sets on the rock, it doesn't come off at all. You would have to scrub it off, so, and even then it doesn't come off completely.
Okay, well, we're going to keep working on this order. Are there any other questions? Oh, and packaging or shipping rocks, do we wrap them individually so they don't scratch each other?
Yeah, these are going to get wrapped in tissue, and then they'll all go in a box together. So they're not really that breakable, but we will wrap them just to protect the lettering from getting damaged.
Does repetitive practice train your brain and hand? You're doing this so effortlessly. Yes. Basically, practice, repetition, you're developing muscle memory in your hands. So it does require less thought when you have trained your hand to do the same motion over and over again. So that is why practice is so important. That's what we're trying to talk about so much in our practice challenge this week. Just the importance of practice and getting that muscle memory. What paper do we recommend for pointed pen? Well, for practicing, we create custom pads that we offer in our shop. lhcalligraphy.com/shop has all of our preferred materials and supplies, and we custom create all of our practice pads. Also, there is a free PDF link in our profile. So if you click the link in our Instagram profile here, you will get the link to our, or you can download a free PDF where we link to our favorite sources for other papers like envelopes and place cards and things like that. So you can get that in the free PDF via the link in our profile. What do we think the plans are for the rocks after the event? So these are for the wedding party, and then they'll keep theirs. The ones that are the hors d'oeuvres will probably unfortunately get thrown away. Did we wash the rocks before writing on them?
My assistant wiped them off with Windex last week. So when she opened them, they were very dusty. And then she wiped them all down for me so they'd be ready to go this week.
So yes, we wiped them down with Windex and a paper towel.
But even so, there's still dust on my hands. But the pen still works.
So again, we're doing lettering here. Oh, hello from London. What would our recommendation be for beginners? So if you're just learning pointed pen, we definitely recommend a starter kit. And we offer a video tutorial with our starter kit. So there's a kit and video tutorial bundle, and we have the letters grouped by letter forms, which is how we think you should practice them. You want to practice letters that are similarly shaped so that you can develop that muscle memory in your hand by making the same shapes over and over again. So that's how we recommend for beginners. But we really recommend that you work on letter consistency before you actually jump into letter connections. It's kind of like a process. Usually people just want to jump ahead. Carson Butler says your nails look fabulous.
Thanks, KB.
Thanks, ladies. This is a water-based paint pen. If you bought the video tutorial and starter kit set already, then you definitely have that. We don't have anything that's like added onto it yet. It's still the same kit and video. We've released some newer resources, but those would be purchased separately. How did you learn to center your lettering on the rocks?
On the rocks, because they're different sizes, I don't really do centering. So like this one, is not centered at all. I just based the lettering on how the rock is going to sit best. So this one sits pretty well like that. So I put the rocks kind of angled like this. So I kind of just put my lettering there because that's how it's going to be read. And then other than that, I just eyeball it. Any other questions?
Are there any other questions here? Where do we see our company going in the future? Dream projects, collaborations. We've kind of been shifting a bit. We used to schedule Laura really on just every single day handwritten work, and so we've sort of been cutting back a little bit on that to allow for more personal time and other projects that we enjoy. So we just did a collaboration with Hallmark this year. We just authored our first book, which just came out last month. The link for that is in our profile. It's called Wedding Calligraphy. Has step-by-step tutorials for our most frequently requested projects. We did the Calligraphy Business Boot Camp. We have some new videos that are going to be coming out on our website soon, doing things like this. We have the practice challenge going right now. So sort of shifting to more, serving other calligraphers and offering a bit more educational pieces is probably a direction that we'll continue to head in addition to our wedding client work. So someone asked how many of these we're doing. This is actually the last one. So this was just a small portion of a larger order. We did handwritten escort cards for the entire wedding, and then this had the bridal party, had the rock place cards, and we did these rocks for the tray passed hors d'oeuvres. So this is actually the end of a project. We are based in Virginia. Our studio here is in Old Town. Were these rocks a mail order? So we bought them, but yeah, they would pay for shipping. It would be it would be more expensive, over $50 for the shipping. This is a local client, but they're actually going to have us just go ahead and ship them. So usually people just, if they want to work with us and they don't want to pick up, they will pay for that shipping.
There's only 38 rocks, so it's not that big of an order.
Yeah, this portion of the order isn't as big as the other.
And the other part is just paper, so it won't weigh as much.
Yeah, Breely, if you send us an email, we can send you the link to the rocks that we bought. So just email us, hello@lhcalligraphy.com. For our favorite paint pens, we have a free PDF download. You can just click the link in our profile, and you'll get a free PDF download, and we link to all of our favorite pens, papers, really all of Laura's favorite supplies. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you guys for jumping on here with us.
So fun.